Well, in last week's video, I figured out how this door frame was supposed to be, and there were some shims on this that made the door close kind of ajar, and I was puzzling as to why. I've been thinking about this, and I think I might have that reason figured out. So this was the original framework. It'd be on the left front side, and I replaced that. And this is grooved out for an insert for a cross panel across the front into this door frame. So I've done kind of a quick mock-up with a piece of junk board here to where I think this would set in this panel about like so. So this is the framework that the door hinges on, and right at the top of this lower panel there's remnants where we can see that there was a rabbet joint put in right here. So my guess is that the front panels would have set in this rabbet joint and would have been flush with the face of this frame where these hinges are at. So I haven't cut this rabbet joint, but I'm kind of speculating that this board would set into this rabbet and give it a backstop in which to fasten it to. So this is the original right side panel, and then this is the door frame, and you can see that this is the door stop that's been cut out, just like the one that I have cut on this new one. Well, the thickness of this frame from this side panel to the top of this door stop is 1.25 inches. And you can see it comes up just shy of where the inside brace is. You can see this brace here. So as we noticed on this old frame that it had to be notched out for the bench, I did that as well on the new one and notched it out for the bench. So this is where I think the problem arose, that they had to do some adjusting in their doorstop thickness. This was the cleat that was put on the right front side of the bench, and that would allow for a cross side panel to fit in like so and butt up against this door frame. The distance from this door frame to the leading edge of this panel is 2 3/4, and that measurement came off of this original right side panel. This door frame set back 2 3/4, so we're the same there. So it looks like this is the configuration that they ended up with this cross panel here being on the face of this door frame. When I set the left side of the door frame at the same 2 3/4, and then this side panel here has a rabbet joint to come in to where this face is flush with the face of this door frame, you can see we have a problem. So on the far left side, from the leading face of this cross board, we're still at that 2 3/4 with the configuration of this framework here. So my speculation is, if the original door stopped here at the original stop, then we have this stair step that's kind of an uncomely, unsightly joint. So if this were shimmed out that 3/4 inch like it was done, then the door would stop out here. They could put another trim piece on here and bring it out flush with this panel, but you can see we have a problem. This panel on the left side is flush, where we're stair stepped out 3/4 inch on this side. So that's my guess, that they ended up with front panels that were not lined up across from each other. So in order to make that transition, the thing to do was to shim the door out so the door is crooked, and shim the top frame to where it makes that transition as well. I'm going to do something different. Since it looks like this side has been rabbeted out to joint this panel into the frame, even though it wasn't original to this wagon, but to avoid this stair step, I'm going to cut a rabbet here as well and step this back in to where this cross panel here will be flush on the right side just as well as it is on the left side. And I only have to do it for the height of this 7 inches. All my rabbet will stop here, and then it'll be the same on the right as the left, because this is where my rabbet will stop as well. to line up with this panel here that will go across the bench. Then will be equal height from here all the way around on both sides of this door. So if I cut a rabbet here as well, just for this 7 inches, then we're going to match on both the right side and the left side. Somewhere in the process of the life of this sheep wagon, this 2x2 was added in, and so we have about a 3/8 thick shelf here. And as we took this apart, we noticed it had a sheet of plywood on here. Well, I think this piece was added, and possibly this stop as well, to accommodate the plywood that I don't think was original. So then whatever I have to do to keep this panel flush with this frame, it'll be the same on both sides. We'll have continuity, and this door can shut like it should. The only difference is going to be this joint here, and I think that's going to be acceptable. It is going to cause this cleat to change from a 2-inch cleat to a 2 3/4 inch cleat, but that's what would have had to have been done on this side as well to line up with this panel over here. Well, this has ended up doing a pretty good job of stabilizing this front door frame and these two benches on each side. All along, I've been talking about this rod. It came up through the center of this side brace, and its hole was right in the middle where all these boards sit. So I was kind of in a quandary as to why is the rod right in the middle of the panels. So as you've been following along, I anticipated that there'd be some parallel boards, and then this rod would be straightened out, and then perhaps there were some upright boards. That's kind of what came out of this pile of stuff. Well, if I were to straighten this rod out and put it right in this area, if this head was countersunk into this door frame and I straightened that out, you can see we're way too long by another 5 inches or so. So that's not going to work. So then I wondered if maybe it was bent intentionally. It has a big washer as a spacer in here, so that's kind of a telltale sign that something's not quite right. But even if I did something like this, the question is, well, what did it fasten to? Because then it's going to go right down the center of these front panels. So that's not going to work. So as you can tell, what my conclusion was, it didn't get put back in. I don't think it belonged there. Just from the evidence of how this thing goes together. I could have seen the logic of a straight bolt through here, perhaps in a joint, to kind of strengthen this up. But this rod is not made at the correct length to do that. So I left it out. So with the groove cut in this frame and the signs of the rabbit on this side, these panels seem to make sense. The rod doesn't. So this squares up the front end and setting of this door frame. I've got to put that cross board across the back side as well, and I'll stick some pleats in there, very similar to the process that I did here on the front. So now that the front is in place, this pan box can actually get fastened into place where it belongs. Well, I got all these hinges off of the door and I have them freed up, and I was actually able to save all the bolts and all the nuts. And I have the remnants of the frame for the door. This is the top door. It'll give me a pattern of how this goes together. So that's going to be my focus for this next coming week, is try to get the doors built for this door frame. Do appreciate you coming along. Thanks for watching.